First thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and get SKUGrid. Again, I will leave a link to it in the description of this video as well, and make sure you go through my link to ensure that you do get the 10% discount for life, which I explained in the last video. And then once you get it, you want to go ahead and sign up to SKUGrid. And then you want to get another thing called SKUFetch. Once you get SKUFetch, now unfortunately I've already connected my SKUFetch account to SKUGrid, but what will actually happen is when you first use SKUFetch, then what SKUFetch will do is basically, think about it this way. SKUGrid is the software that will monitor your stock, and it will do all the changes onto your eBay account via file exchange. Okay, SKUFetch is the software that you're going to use that will bring details over from suppliers, and it will shift that information over to SKUGrid. Okay, now don't worry, you don't have to buy SKUFetch as well, because once you subscribe to SKUGrid, you get a subscription with SKUFetch for free. So you just need to go onto SKUFetch, log into it, and then just connect it to SKUGrid, and it's going to ask you for payment information. Just click on the button where it says update payment information, and then it will check SKUGrid for any updated payment information, and as soon as it sees that it's registered, then you're going to be able to use it. So we'll have a look at this later. SKUFetch, we'll come on to this later. What we're going to do is we're going to focus on setting up SKUGrid at this stage. Now the first thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and download the Google Chrome extension, and it will look something like this on the screen over here, this little thing, and then this will be the system that's used to do file exchange on your items. Okay, file exchange, I'll go through that a little bit later on, and basically this is what feeds data to your eBay account, and you're going to enter your eBay account details over here. And then once you've done that, let's go over through the settings section, and we're going to go through each section and we're going to get it all set up. So let's click on settings, and we're going to go through all of these. Okay, so check supplier item every 3 hours. Now depending on which package you went for, there is the package to go for 3 hours, there is the package for going for 1 hour. Now if you're going to use big retailers like Walmart, Home Depot, then I would recommend that you go for the hourly stock checks, because you know these type of big stores, they do have a lot of stock coming in and out, and I would highly recommend that you do not drop ship from Amazon. Okay, there's still plenty of people who dropship from Amazon. I know I've made videos about it, I made videos about how people are doing it, but I highly recommend that you do not dropship from Amazon. And as a matter of fact, I even, in the disclaimer of the video I made on YouTube, I say, you know, some of the potential problems that will arise when you're dropshipping from Amazon. If you're using, you know, smaller retailers that are a little bit more hard to find, then by all means you can just go ahead and go for the 3 hour option. How many items to display per page? You can just put it as 5,000. Stretch SKUGrid to full screen, yes. Vacation mode, no. Maximum days before dispatch at supplier. Now really you want to keep this as 3, but then you can always mark it as dispatched at a later stage. Display stock as color. Okay, sort order, record added, descending, complexity level. I would say go for simplified at this stage, and then once you really become more familiar with the software, you could always come back here and change it. Just keep it simplified at this stage. Save settings. One more thing in this section over here is you're just going to go ahead and click on show the following columns in table. And you're just going to go ahead and click on all of these over here, and then just really you want to click all of it, so you just want to show everything, and then click save settings. You're going to go over to marketplace, and then we're going to click on eBay, and then you're going to select whichever country that your eBay account is based in. Okay, if you're listing your items on ebay.com, then select eBay US. If you're listing your items on ebay.co.uk, then go ahead and select UK. Okay, and you can add a country if you are doing something else, then Germany, France, Canada, etc. But over here I'm just going to select US because I've primarily been using US, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. So you want to put your default quantity of wherever you want it to be. So what will your item, so if you list an item, will it show a quantity of 1 or quantity of 2 or 3, etc. Now if you are working with low limits, then really you just want to leave it as 1, and then update sold items. So when an item sells, you want it to go back in stock, so you want to definitely go ahead and click yes. Here, over here, it says reprice only if price increased by at least a certain amount of dollars. So if the price increases when it's monitoring, say for example, it's monitoring Walmart stock, and Walmart increased their price by, say for example, 0.01 cents, right? Okay, what it's going to do is then going to reprice your item. Now we're going to look at a pricing formula a little bit later on, but let's just say reprice only if decreased. So you want to put it as whatever you like. Okay, for this example I'm going to put it as 0.01. so even if the price changes just a little bit, I want SkuGrid to reprice my items, and it's going to do it via file exchange. It's not going to do it via an API link software, which is very important. The reason being is when you are doing any kind of retail dropshipping, see, using companies like CJ Dropshipping has been absolutely fine because they hardly ever reprice their item or change the prices on the item. But if you're going to dropship from someone like Walmart or Home Depot or Lowe's, etc., or in the UK maybe George.com or Zooplus or things like that, they may change their prices. They won't change it as often as, for example, Amazon, but they may change their prices here and there. Yeah, just set prices to be rounded up. No, just leave it as do not round up. Auto update eBay stock. You just want to put that as yes. Auto relist fixed duration listings, yes. Auto update eBay price, yes. Sync sales from orders dash. Just want to leave that as it is. Calculate eBay selling price. Switch to wizard view. And what this will do, this will kind of really show you the formulas that you want to use for your eBay account. Okay, now say for example you are using US. Over US, the vendor tax will basically be, you know, when you're checking out on Walmart, it's usually around about 9% that they usually tax you. Now, for you guys who are drop shipping using US suppliers, I would highly recommend that you consider getting a reseller certificate. And once you get a reseller certificate, then you can apply for tax exemption on places like Walmart or Home Depot or any other wholesale suppliers. But you will need to obtain a reseller certificate. Unfortunately, I cannot advise you in this because I don't live in the US. And to be honest with you, with these type of things, you really need to look into it yourself. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube. In UK, it's not like that. So for you guys in UK, you wouldn't really need to know that. But for US guys, I would highly recommend, if you really want to maximize on your profits, then you should be looking on getting tax exempt. If you want to compete against most of these other drop shippers, then really you want to be getting tax exemption. When you start using UK suppliers and US suppliers, you may want to start looking at listing more than your cheaper products. You know, when it comes to China, I know many of you probably have been looking at the lower priced items just to get started off with. Now when it comes to the UK or US items, you want to try and start getting as much profit out of it as possible, so you can start looking at more higher ticket items. And SkuGrid also allows you to create bundle listings as well, which I will show you. Now over here, there's one thing I want to mention. It says convert to different currency. You don't want to do that. And another thing is, when you are tracking pricing for Chinese suppliers like AliExpress, China Brands, CJ Dropshipping, it doesn't work as effectively, because when you do UK to UK, it's one shipping price. When you do US to US, it's one shipping price. But the problem is, when you're drop shipping from China, SkuGrid isn't, or actually any other software isn't hugely effective when it comes to the pricing formulas, when it comes to, because different prices are, different countries have different prices. So that's why towards earlier on in the course, I showed you how to use kind of the medium range. So just bear that in mind. Okay, PayPal, eBay fees, it's usually around about 10% or 9.5 to 10%. If you are in UK and you've got a business account, remember, if eBay say they're going to charge you a 10% fee, they'll actually charge you 12%. That's on a business account, because they charge you VAT. Just remember that. Okay, so whatever eBay say they will charge you, times it by 20%. So if they say they'll charge you 9%, times it by 1.2. Now, majority of the time, they charge you around about 10%. So 10 times 1.2 is 12%. If you've got a business account, they will charge you VAT on the final value fee. So you need to remember that. And then on top of that, you're also going to need to add the PayPal fee. Now, for those of you in UK, PayPal don't charge VAT on their fee. Okay, so you need to remember that. eBay do, PayPal don't. Okay, so in this example, I'm going to use US. So say for example, the eBay and PayPal fees, the eBay fees is 10%, PayPal fees is 2.9%, so that'll be 12.9. And then on top of that, PayPal do charge an extra 30 cents. Okay, this is for UK to UK dropshipping, US to US dropshipping. When you are doing international dropshipping, the pricing formula is slightly different, which I kind of showed you earlier on in a few other videos. And you can always just calculate a price and it'll calculate it for you. Now let's just assume that we do get sales tax exempt, so we don't pay sales tax to Walmart, for example. I'll keep using Walmart. It's just the easiest brand that most of you guys recognize. So we want to make a 5% profit on every product. eBay and PayPal fees. eBay is 10%, PayPal is 2.9% plus the additional 30 cents, and then it will be able to calculate prices. So if an item costs $100, it will list it for $120.90. It's as simple as that. So this is what I'll leave it as. Vendor tax, I'm assuming you'll get tax exempt. Okay, margin, you want to make at least 5%. Fixed margin, let's just say I'll leave that as blank as it is, but you can always mess around with. This is for you guys to mess around with, and you can decide what you want to do. Okay, eBay and PayPal fees, eBay fees 10%, PayPal fees 2.9%, and then they also add an additional 30 cents PayPal do, and then you know that's there for later. Okay, close and apply, and that's done. We're going to go ahead and click on save settings. And VA, in the future, once you get a virtual assistant who will then list items for you, instead of giving them login details to your actual eBay account, you can give them access to your SKUGrid account. And what that will do is then they can go ahead and list items for you. They can find items via SKUFetch, list it onto your SKUGrid account for you, and without you ever having to give them access to your actual eBay account. So it's a really good way, especially when you start getting virtual assistants, it's a really good way of managing your VA's work. Let's just go over the notification settings quickly. What you want to do is put your email address over here, and then over here just put notification on item sale. Just put yes, get notified, yes. How much should the price decrease? I don't know, maybe just put it as $1 or anything that you like, whenever you want to get notified via email. But it does give a disclaimer here, do not solely rely on email notifications. Okay, then go ahead and click on save settings. Or even if you just want to put it as 0.01 or 0.1, right? 0.1 if the price increases or decreases. But it does say, remember, disclaimer, do not solely rely on email notifications. Now over here, when it comes to remote API, what you want to do is you want to copy this code that's over here and then click on your SKUGrid Chrome extension and then paste it over here. Okay, enter your email and then enter your eBay username. Okay, and I've just gone ahead and ticked all of these. So usually if I just put it as the default, right, so check changes at SKUGrid every 10 minutes or every 10 minutes, upload to eBay every 180 minutes. I think these are the defaults. You can go with the defaults. Upload to SKUGrid, again the default is 180 minutes. 180 minutes over here. Also import new items into SKUGrid. Upload sales to SKUGrid every 180 minutes. Now, I just want you to let you know that once this is set up, SKUGrid will start picking up any items that you already have in your inventory now on your eBay store. So if you've been using a different listing software, it's going to add it to your inventory on SKUGrid where you click on my items, but it's going to show the supplier's URL as blank. So what you need to do is you need to go ahead and manually add the supplier's URL for that specific product if it's not already. So in the future, when you start adding it from SKUFetch, which I'll show you later on, when you start adding it from SKUFetch, you know, SKUGrid will be able to pick that up. However, if you are coming over from a different software, or if you've got items on your account that does not link to a specific software or links to a different type of software, then you're going to need to manually add the URLs in. Now, if you are using the same SKUGrid to sell on multiple marketplaces, so say for example eBay US, eBay UK, what you need to do is hold the CTRL or control button and then click on multiple ones like that. Okay, so in this instance I'm just going to use eBay US as an example. You can use one eBay account to sell on eBay US or eBay Australia, but SKUGrid, one SKUGrid account will only link to one eBay account. So if you've got more than one eBay account, then you're going to need multiple SKUGrid subscriptions. Let me repeat that so it makes sense. You can use one eBay account to sell on eBay US, to sell on eBay UK, to sell on eBay Australia. That's 3 different marketplaces using the one account, and it's fine to link it to one SKUGrid like that. However, if you have different eBay accounts with different email addresses, then you will need different SKUGrid accounts. Okay, I had to repeat that just to make it a little bit more clear. Now remember to click save settings, and once you click on save, then SKUGrid will start checking all these. eBay does have a limit of 5,000 file exchange on a daily basis. Obviously, the settings I'm showing you is maybe for a store with maybe 1,000 items. Okay, now if you really want to go, you want to push beyond that, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to speak to eBay and explain to them that you want to do it more. Now you want to increase on that, and they can certainly look at increasing that for you. However, I would say, just start off small first of all and see how that goes. The best thing to do, right, is focus on growing an eBay account with hundreds of items. Don't focus on growing an eBay account with thousands and thousands of items. The more items you have, the more potential problems you can face. Okay, if you really have maybe a good few hundred items, maybe up to 1,000 items, right, then what can actually happen is, or even 1,800, SKUGrid has an 800 option, right? But what can actually happen is you can pay more attention to detail to the products that you do have. The more items you have, the less attention you're going to give to other items, and this is where eBay dropshipping has been going wrong. Most people are just focused on getting tens of thousands of items onto their store, just chucking enough crap at the wall and hoping it starts to stick. But what you really need to focus on is quality over quantity. Focus on quality items and getting quality items listed onto your store. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use SKU Fetch. Let's go over to the next video.